here as well, pictures and all that. But because I came across something that totally shocked me. Hello, everyone. It's Charlton, and I saw this story on the Daily Mail, but it's being reported plenty of other places as well that Ace Hardware is resuming their advertising with Laura Ingraham. After the whole the boycott of her, many advertisers leaving because of her tweet about one of the Parkland shooting survivors. And I'm live streaming this on Periscope as well at the same time, so I'll probably bring the phone in here and show some pictures as well. And, I followed this story, obviously, because the Purge got, this became front and center of the Purge. And I don't know if this was the primary reason, but it seemed like it was. And I got affected by that. I mean, this is why I'm periscoping, and I'm trying to broaden my platform so that, I'm not so dependent on YouTube, because I lost my channel, man. And I wasn't even saying anything, nothing, I don't believe in crisis actors, or I've never been shown something that is proof to me of that, and I get a lot of flack for that. Actually, a lot of people on YouTube do, but whatever. So the story is Ace Hardware is resuming their advertising with Laura Ingraham, which I say great, and all the people that didn't do that. I think it's just silly, and to try to attack somebody's livelihood and attack the livelihood of, of the companies, the people that work for those companies, regular folks, people have jobs at those companies. It's wrong. And so I'm glad to see Ace Hardware resume their advertising. And, I was looking at some of the tweets in the Daily Mail, and that's what sort of caught my attention, and I'll read some of them, but one of them was particularly, sort of very strong in their displeasure with Laura Ingraham. His name is William LeGate, and he's got a blue check mark. He's famous. Okay, that's the dude right there. It turns out, his tweet is, whoever runs marketing for Ace Hardware needs to be fired. They've butchered their entire response to Laura Ingraham's scandal every step of the way. By going back on their decision, not only have they alienated both sides, they've sided with bigotry and evil, okay, which is obviously silly. But, and I just went to look the dude up just to make sure that he wasn't a student so that my channel wouldn't get in trouble by talking about what his tweet was. And when I went to look up his tweet, and he actually... he's famous. He's got a blue check mark, and I think he's doing quite well for himself. I think he's like sort of like a genius kind of kid. At 12 years old, he taught himself programming, and he became he went into the Thiel Fellowship. So he didn't even go to college. And Peter Thiel, who I like, Peter Thiel, he's the dude from PayPal. He was a Trump supporter, and him and Elon Musk, I find him extremely interesting. I saw his interview on. With Maria Bartiromo. He was so cool, I liked him a lot. But anyways, this guy, William LeGate, went through his program, and it says here on Wikipedia that the apps he made have been downloaded over 7 million times. So, he's obviously doing quite well for himself. And he went through the Peter Thiel program where it's a $100,000 grant given annually to only 20 people under 20 years of age on the condition they drop out of school in order to pursue an entrepreneurial path. It's extremely cool. So, and he apparently did that. But I went to go check his tweets just to make sure he wasn't one of the students and get myself in trouble. And he blocked me. I couldn't believe it, dude. I was like, and I've never seen this guy before in my life. And I have a feeling that this has something to do with the YouTube purge that I was talking about. I mean, like how this guy even knows of me to block me. I didn't know how to take it. I mean, at first I was like, wow, I sort of, thought it was interesting, but at the same time, the guy's probably on his way to becoming a multimillionaire and so forth, and will eventually become like, whatever, very wealthy and all that. But I was totally stunned by that. So I don't know. That was pretty much the story. But why would I don't know why he would block me. I don't know. Strange. But Ace Hardware is resuming advertising with Laura Ingraham. Good for them. Bill Maher had done a show on this last weekend about this, saying it was wrong that they boycotted him, and he wasn't a big fan of boycotts, and I agree. I think they're silly. They're ridiculous. And people should be allowed to speak. We're all grown-ups, for goodness sake. That's the whole thing. But, because he's a student, and, and I understand. If there was a student in here, I wouldn't argue with a student. He's a teenager, and I'm a grown person, and I just wouldn't do that. But he's talking about things that change laws, that take all of our rights away, and he's saying absolutely horrendous things against, regular people, American family, regular NRA members are not, ultra wealthy, uber elite people. They're just regular folks that want somebody to represent their rights. So, but again, yes, he's a child and all that, but we should be allowed to speak, and we shouldn't be boycotted if we express an opinion that disagrees with somebody who's trying to change the laws that we all have to live by. So good for Bill Maher, and good for Ace Hardware. I've read that a lot of these companies, even though they, because of public relations reasons, they stopped advertising on Laura Ingraham, they actually didn't leave the Fox network. And not that I'm any huge fan of Fox, but I'm just not a fan of boycotts, and I'm not a fan of people trying to use these social media campaigns to silence other people, and by going after advertisers. This is Media Matters. It's really rotten stuff. Rotten. I'm totally against it. So good for Ace Hardware. And some of the other companies that, there's a pretty long list of big companies, but some of them, like Expedia, that's Barry Diller. Okay, he hates Trump. I was just reading an article about this, about how he just attacks his character and says the most ridiculously bad things about him. He's a Hillary supporter, and Expedia. It's almost like they advertise with Laura so they could do this. TripAdvisor, Hulu. And I don't know Johnson & Johnson. These are all the companies that backed out of advertising with Laura Ingraham. Bayer, Office Depot, Honda, Nestle, Wayfair, Nutrish, Miracle Ear, Ruby Tuesday, Liberty Mutual, Jose Bank, Jenny Craig. It's silliness, man. But some Stitch Fix, I think Blue Apron did, and one others were added on at the end. So, but good for Ace Hardware for staying with Laura, and I like Laura. I watch a show. I listen to her on talk radio. I have for a long time. I kind of stopped because now Rush is on a different channel, and I always listen to the dude before Rush to get Rush. But I like Laura quite a bit, and she's one of these few people that were huge backers of Trump before he won. And nobody thought he was going to win, but he did win, and so they cashed in, and good for them. She deserves, these people that got behind Trump, and everyone else thought, they were on the Hillary bandwagon. They thought it was a shoe-in, like Mark Cuban and many others, And actually, I saw a tweet from that guy, a news article from this guy, William LeGate, where he was at some event, at a Peter Thiel event, I think, and he had lunch with Peter Thiel and Mark Cuban or something like that. I really liked Peter Thiel. When I saw the interview with him and Maria Bartiromo, I thought he was so cool, so interesting, so different in the way he thought of things. Like Elon Musk, I like Elon Musk. All right, that's the story there. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Follow me over at Periscope, and vice versa. And I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.